Hello and welcome to News by Stands. Teachers in England will strike on Thursday the 27th of April and Tuesday the 2nd of May after members of the UK's largest education union rejected a pay offer. Results of the NEU ballot found that 98% of members were in favour of turning the deal down. Teachers were offered a £1,000 one-off payment this year and a 4.3% rise next year. Starting salaries would also rise to £30,000 from September. The Education Secretary said it was extremely disappointing. The National Education Union NEU described the offer as insulting and said it has united the profession in its outrage. Speaking at the annual conference in Harrogate, Joint General Secretaries Mary Boosted and Kevin Courtney said the offer was unacceptable, not fully funded, and it did not deal with the shortage of teachers in schools. In a ballot over the government's pay offer, 191,319 NEU members voted to reject the deal with a 66% turnout. After hearing the announcement, delegates at the conference chanted, "Come on Jill, pay the bill." Education Secretary Gillian Keegan said that NEU's decision to reject the pay offer will simply result in more disruption for children and less money for teachers today. The offer was funded, including major new investment of over £500 million, in addition to record funding already planned for school budgets. Ms Keegan said pay will now be decided by the independent pay review body, which will recommend pay rises for next year. This means the £1,000 payment for this year will not happen. During a visit to Rochdale, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said the news of new strike dates was extremely disappointing, following a very reasonable pay offer. Mr Sunak said the upcoming strikes will be enormously damaging to our children, whose education has already suffered because of COVID and now in the run-up to exams. Ms Boasted confirmed plans to support GCSE and A-level students during the upcoming strike days and said the union has been speaking to head teachers to make sure those pupils are in class for exam preparations. Following the vote, Ms Boosted called on ministers to reopen negotiations on pay and said there could be more strike dates during the summer term. More than 50% of schools closed or restricted attendance during recent national strike days, according to government data. Teacher salaries fell by an average of 11% between 2010 and 2022, after taking inflation into account, according to the Institute for Fiscal Studies. The government says it is giving its schools an extra £2.3 billion over the next 2 years. Most state school teachers in England had a 5% rise in 2022. A letter from Ms Keegan to the unions said schools would have received extra funding for the £1,000 one-off payment and 0.5% of the pay increase for next year. The rest would come from the additional money awarded to schools in the autumn budget. Luke Sibita from the Institute for Fiscal Studies said school budgets could only absorb a small amount of the pay offer and that some schools are already seeing costs growing faster than funding.